A claim of passports, cash, and a fired flight attendant tonight on Our News.
National Security Minister Wayne Monroe rejects allegations tied to Bahamas Air Haiti flight despite a former employee's claim in today's Tribune. I'm Javare Emmanuel. Stay with us for the full story.
Plus, a heartbreaking start to the day in Abaco. A teacher and a teenage student killed in a morning crash near Treasure Key. Tonight, the painful details from those first on the scene. And a big boost is coming to Long Island. Construction about to start on a brand new $10 million airport at Deadman's Key. The minister says the terminal will finally match the island's growing investment push. Then in our news at 7:30, the former Sandals property in Exuma getting a new life and a $120 million investment to go with it. We break down what this new family brand means for jobs, airlift, and the local economy. Our news, live at 7, starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Candino Knowles tonight. Opposition claims of a bag of passports found on a Bahamas Air flight bound for Haiti dismissed by another senior member of the Davis administration. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe calling the allegations unsubstantiated, even after an article in today's Tribune claimed a former flight attendant was investigated and fired following the alleged seizure of more than $100,000 in cash. Monroe maintains there was never any report of passports involved. Our Delvado Emmanuel gets us started this half hour.
National Security Minister Wayne Monroe maintaining his position tonight, insisting there has never been any reports confirming a bag of passports was found on a Bahamas Air flight. His comments come despite a Tribune story this week outlining how a former flight attendant was temporarily detained, questioned by financial crime officers, and ultimately fired after $106,000 was allegedly seized by Haitian authorities following a March 1st flight to Cape Haitian. The ex-employee claims he unknowingly carried a small bag containing one passport, clothes, and a pair of heels for a colleague, what he describes as a routine crew practice. But Monroe insists the investigation was strictly about cash.
There has been no report of any bag of passports. The Commissioner of Police confirms the only person who got locked up is somebody taking cash.
According to the Tribune report, the former flight attendant said he was questioned about the $100,000 and never about passports. Monroe says when it comes to carrying valuables, crew should know better, pointing out the difference between everyday items and large undeclared sums.
If I ask you to take a document for me, that's one thing, right? If I ask you to take $100,000 for me to somebody, where you know the law is that you have to check against the source of funds. Did he get a source of funds from the person who gave him the money? So you have to understand and recognize foolishness when you hear it.
Was the ex-employee reportedly admitting to the Tribune taking a package onto a flight without knowing what's inside? Monroe said that detail weakens rather than strengthens that man's credibility.
You really have to be discerning to recognize foolishness when you hear it. That person is saying, I have done this a lot of times. He cannot speak for other persons. He says he is careless not to know what is in a bag.
Well, an early morning traffic fatality in Abaco leaves a teacher and student dead. Our Megan Shepard shares the devastating details tonight.
Anchor of Bahamas Christian Network, Pastor Silbert Mills, is no stranger to tragedy on the island of Abaco. He says shortly around 8 a.m. he got a call regarding a traffic fatality just east of the Treasure Key Airport. He was immediately informed that a woman and a teenage boy were both dead.
They were heading north when they collided with a SUV or Suburban that was heading south. The Suburban was driven by an American couple who had come to the Bahamas for the first time, and they were on their way to a bone fishing trip to Green Turtle Key, but they had missed the turn off to Green Turtle Key, and then they turned around, and as they made the turnaround, they forgot to go on the left side of the road. And as a result of that, coming right around that dogleg curve, the vehicle and the Suburban collided head-on.
Another student in the vehicle was transported to the Marsh Harbor Clinic by ambulance. According to Mills, the female passenger of the Suburban was also transported in the same vehicle.
The teacher and the student that died were relatives. It was aunt and nephew. He was only 13 years old. And his class is the same class that now grieves again after losing one of their classmates to a fire earlier this year. Lots of efforts by the North Abaco Pastors Association, who is counseling with the students at both campuses today.
And while Abaconians have been calling for improved roads, more signage, and better lighting for years, Pastor Mills says these issues didn't play a factor in the early morning tragedy. Instead, he is calling for more signage, reminding visitors to keep left.
We should be now seeing signs that says keep left, so that they can be constantly reminded that here we drive on the left-hand side of the road. And there should be a call for all rental vehicles to have that prominently featured and displayed in all rental vehicles.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
A very tragic story tonight indeed. Our thoughts and prayers are with those families tonight in Abaco. Also from that island, 3 men making their first court appearance today for their involvement in the high seas raid of a cargo barge that ran aground in the Abacos about a week ago. You may recall the viral videos of the ship's looting, which got stuck on a reef while heading to Puerto Rico. In court today, prosecutors allege that Darren Lightbourne and Ferial McIntosh stole washers, dryers, engines, and electronics valued at $500,000 from the U.S.-flagged Brooklyn Bridge, while Moselle Smith was allegedly found in possession of appliances taken from the barge. Lightbourne and McIntosh entered not guilty pleas to stealing charges, and Smith denied the receiving charge when they were all arraigned before Chief Magistrate, that is Ancilla Evans, at the Marsh Harbor Magistrates Court. Bail was set at $30,000 each for Lightbourne and McIntosh. Smith's bail was set at $7,000. The men returned to court on January 21st for trial. New data from the Bahamas National Statistical Institute shows unemployment dropped by 93% in the second quarter of 2025. During the first quarter of this year, unemployment figures stood at 10.8%. The latest labor survey said unemployment declined, falling to 22,470. That's just over 3,400 people down from the previous quarter. The survey also recorded 10,690 unemployed men, down from 12,630 in the previous quarter. Unemployed females also dropped to 11,780 from 13,295. The total labor force in the second quarter stood at 241,000 individuals. That equals 121,840 men and 119,250 women. Construction is set to begin soon in Long Island on a new $10.9 million airport in Deadman's Key. That's signing for that airport in a contract signing today. Works and Family Affairs Minister Clay Sweeney explains the terminal will unlock the full potential of recent investments on the island. The terminal will be 10,000 square feet with separate areas for international arrivals and domestic departures. It will also see 4 airline counters, proper airline offices, and a departure lounge that will seat up to 150 passengers. Works and Family Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting says the project is another step towards growth for the island.
And this terminal will house key government agencies like Customs, Immigration, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force, providing a more seamless experience for travelers and greater integration for Long Island. Now, this is not just a building. This is a gateway to opportunity. And what this means for Long Island is that you have greater business opportunities for local entrepreneurs, increased tourism capacity and economic growth, and a higher standard of living for residents.
Project will be done by Presor Construction Limited. Its president, Robert Wells, who is a Long Islander, predicts an 18-month construction phase using as many Long Islanders as possible.
It's going to start immediately. As you know, most contractors shut down during the Christmas holidays, so we've probably got about another 3-4 weeks before we close for the holidays. But in the very early new year, we're going to start on main construction. But as for preliminaries, we're going to be there very shortly.
Time now for our first look at temperatures around the country. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy TGIF, everybody. Another lovely evening setting up on the outdoors. Temperatures in the mid-70s with just a few clouds, 75 on the outside. Northeast winds at 30 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature is at 75. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands. 73 in Freeport, Grand Bahamas. 72 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. 76 Alistown, Bimini, and in Governor's Abbey, Luthra. 74 is Great Harbor Key, the Berry Islands, Nicholstown, and Ross into the Central Bahamas. 76 Kemps Bay, Black Point, Exuma, Port Nelson, that's in Rum Key. 75s in Georgetown, Exumas as well, Deadman's Key, Long Island. Coburn Townsend, Salvador, 74. Arthurstown, Cat Island, also 75. And we pick up 79 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abrahams Bay. 76 Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay. 77 over in Providencial is also 77. Matthewtown, Inagua, you are the warm spot at 81 degrees. Satellite radar composite, it is quiet across the area. We still have that persistent troughing across the southeast Bahamas, basically generating some showers mainly across the Turks and Caicos Islands and Inagua. Most of the activity will stay in that general location as that trough continues and we watch that dissipate. High pressure is building behind that and will continue to keep us with some lovely weather into the weekend, and we expect temperatures to be rather nice. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, one national record holder is on the comeback trail and has her sights set on a path to the 2028 Olympics.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here. You got to catch the next show here in London. I'm just leaving my Airbnb here in London because I only stay at the best places when I'm in London. But I'm going to have Bahamians on the show. That's right, Bahamians doing big things here in London, and also going to take you to some of the sites all around London. Whatever I can show you, I'm going to show you, all right? So catch the next Charlie Bahama show right here, Cable Bahamas, channel 212. Charlie Bahama show every Friday night.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show.
Success isn't always linear, and sometimes the story of an athlete embodies that to perfection. Serena Brown's relentless nature shines through as she battles past injuries and setbacks, determined to return to competition stronger than ever. After several years away from competition, Brown, the national record holder in the discus, looks to make a return healthy and with a renewed focus on fulfilling her Olympic dream.
A new group of inductees officially joined the list of legends in the Bahamas National Sports Hall of Fame. In a ceremony last night at Sandals Royal Bahamian, the 2025 class was honored by the local sports community. The inductees are the legendary Foster Dorsett, shout out Uncle, and Norbert Elliott for athletics, Arnold Bain, Stephen Bullipinder, and Father Martian Peters for basketball, Ernie Barr and Alvin Sargent for boxing, Sydney St. Clair and Kim Thompson for cycling, Don Cornish and Levine Simonet for volleyball, Joseph Joe Billy Roll for horse racing, Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee for sailing, and Rex Burnside for bodybuilding and powerlifting.
In today's University of the Bahamas Mingo's Minute-ish, we talk men's soccer and basketball. One gets a blowout win while the other struggles on the road. In men's soccer, Kevin Thomas's hat-trick led the Mingos to an 11-0 win over Cavalier FC in Bahamas Men's Soccer League play for their third straight win. The men's hoops team came up short in a pair of nail-biters last weekend to United International College in Florida. And we send you into the weekend with your 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As air travelers could see smoother skies ahead, the FAA officially lifting flight cuts to 40 major U.S. airports after weeks of shutdown. Plus, Black Friday fever is hitting Australia hard. New research shows that consumer confidence is high. How that's expected to fuel record-breaking spending. And a health emergency unfolding in Cuba. Nearly 1/3 of the population hit by dengue and chikungunya in just weeks. We'll tell you the fumigation efforts underway when our news returns.
No need. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here. You got to catch the next show here in London. I'm just leaving my Airbnb here in London because I only stay at the best places when I'm in London. But I'm have Bahamians on the show. That's right, Bahamians doing big things here in London, and also going to take you to some of the sites all around London. Whatever I can show you, I'm going to show you, all right? So catch the next Charlie Bahama show right here. Cable Bahamas, channel 212. Charlie Bahama show every Friday night.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The Federal Aviation Administration ending mandated cuts in domestic flights at 40 major U.S. airports, easing restrictions that had been imposed over air traffic control concerns during the federal shutdown Freddie Joyner reports tonight.
The Federal Aviation Administration lifted its mandated cuts to domestic flights on Monday. The move eases restrictions that were put in place during the government shutdown, which ended last week. The FAA had imposed the flight reductions to cope with fatigue and staffing shortages among air traffic controllers, many of whom had already been working mandatory overtime and 6-day weeks even before the shutdown began. Air traffic controller absences had led to tens of thousands of flight cancellations and delays, disrupting travel nationwide. Despite ending the mandated flight cuts, the FAA is still about 3,500 air traffic controllers short of its targeted staffing levels. Meanwhile, air traffic controllers and other FAA employees have started receiving back pay equal to about 70% of what they are owed, as the agency works to recover from the shutdown's impact.
Well, the Federal Aviation Administration says only 776 air traffic controllers and technicians with perfect attendance during the 43-day government shutdown will receive a $10,000 bonus, leaving nearly 20,000 other workers without one. Unions call the move unfair, saying thousands worked through the shutdown without pay and also deserve recognition. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy praised the small group who never missed a shift, while lawmakers are now pressing the administration to reward all staff who kept the nation's airspace moving. Black Friday sales are widely expected to be the biggest on record, with shoppers spending billions of dollars on big deals in Australia. New research has found consumers are feeling confident about the economy for the first time in nearly 4 years. This report by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation captures it.
It's shaping up to be the biggest retail event of the year, with shoppers already hunting for Black Friday deals.
People are planning and researching what they want prior to the sales starting.
And they aren't just looking to buy Christmas gifts.
Like that? No, I'm good, thank you. I think a lot of people are shopping for themselves and want to maybe reward themselves through, maybe it's some turntable and a bit of vinyl, or it could be a new TV for the family room.
Australians are expected to spend a record $6.8 billion over the Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend. That's a 4% increase on last year. On average, they'll fork out $804 each.
November's become the new December when it comes to a lot of Christmas purchases, and Black Friday is driving a lot of that activities.
Consumers say they're trying to beat the Christmas rush.
Inflation is going really high, so we're going to get some discount on Black Friday.
I'm going for a Christmas party, so I think it's the right time to get a gift right now.
A recent study by economic think tank E61 found that when the Reserve Bank hiked interest rates in 2022 and 2023, higher levels of savings meant the RBA changes took longer to have an impact. Mortgage holders are using their offset accounts as a buffer. The Reserve Bank's now expected to keep the cash rate on hold until next year, and some economists even think the next move might be up rather than down.
We would be very concerned if there were any future interest rate increases. They would most certainly have an impact on consumer spending.
For now, retailers reap the rewards as Australians continue to splash the cash.
Ford is recalling more than 200,000 Bronco and Bronco Sport vehicles after safety regulators warned that the instrument panel can fail at startup, leaving drivers without critical information. The recall affects nearly 130,000 Bronco Sports and 100,000 Broncos from 2025-2026 models. Ford says it is not aware of any injuries linked to the issue. Now, owners will receive mail notices beginning December 8th and will be instructed to visit a Ford or Lincoln dealership for a software update. Britain is moving to toughen its asylum system as the Labour government on Monday unveiled what it calls the most sweeping immigration overhaul in modern times, making refugee status temporary and speeding up deportations for those who arrive illegally. Interior Minister Shabana Mahmood says refugees will now wait 20 years before they can settle permanently, 4 times longer than today. The move comes as the government faces pressure from the surging populist Reform UK party and a public demanding stronger control of Britain's borders.
We must also enforce our rules and remove those who have no right to be here. This will mean restarting removals to countries where they have been paused. In recent months, we have begun voluntary removal of failed asylum seekers to Syria once again. However, there are still many failed asylum seekers here from Syria, most of whom fled a regime that has since been toppled. Other countries are planning to enforce removals, and we will follow suit.
Cuba is facing a major outbreak of dengue and chikungunya, with nearly 1/3 of the population affected in recent weeks. Officials say the spread has intensified as the economic crisis limits fumigation, trash cleanup, and pipe repairs. Havana is among the worst hit, with teams fumigating crowded buildings. Residents warn that garbage leaks and poor sanitation continue to drive infections. Reuters reports many Cubans cannot afford repellent and face power outages, forcing windows open and making the mosquito-borne virus even harder to control. Still to come on our news tonight. Today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was November 21st. Then in our news at 7:30, a bitter dispute between tenants and their landlord ended with gunfire. And now a guilty verdict. We'll tell you the mother and daughter at the center of this case when our news returns.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here. You got to catch the next show here in London. I'm just leaving my Airbnb here in London because I only stay at the best places when I'm in London. But I'm going to have Bahamians on the show. That's right, Bahamians doing big things here in London, and also going to take you to some of the sites all around London. Whatever I can show you, I'm going to show you, all right? So catch the next Charlie Bahama show right here. Cable Bahamas, channel 212. Charlie Bahama show every Friday night.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1921, Gerald Augustus Bartlett was born in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama. Bartlett served as Commissioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force from 1981 to 1987 and served on the force for 41 years. Bartlett passed away on October 1st, 1999. He was 77 years old. Then fast forward to 2021, a fire ripped through the International Bazaar in Grand Bahama. And in 2022, Prime Minister Philip Davis denied he or his PLP party received contributions from the newly collapsed FTX. To learn more about the events that shaped the day that was November 21st, head on over to ournews.bs. And to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, head on over to ournews.bs. And don't forget to stay locked in to Our News every week from now until December for your shot at driving away in a brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. It's the ultimate giveaway, brought to you by Our News Alive and Auto Mall. To learn more, again, head on over to ournews.bs to learn how you can win. Good luck, and joining me now with A look at tonight's latest headlines is our Italia Hall. Italia, good evening. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Jerome.
I see you came with your Friday pinup. It looks really nice. I like it for you.
Thank
You
you.
didn't think I was going to let you get away, huh?
Jerome, thank you so much. And join our TV this Monday beginning at 6 p.m. for a special broadcast of Decision Day in Golden Isles with anchors Jerome Sawyer and myself, joined by political commentators Dia Sante, Benavi Small, and Xavier Knowles. That's at 6 p.m. only on our TV. Here are your latest headlines. National Security Minister Wayne Munro pushes back, saying claims of a bag of passports on a Bahamas Air flight to Haiti remain unsubstantiated, despite a local daily report about an alleged cash seizure. First tonight on our news at 7:30. Also, with the Golden Isles by-election just days away, PLP candidate Darren Pickstock telling supporters he's running on his own record and promising to stay present if elected. Plus, a $120 million agreement signed for the new Beaches Exuma Resort, projected to create more than 1,500 jobs and boost airlift. And later, a jury convicts a landlord and her daughter of attempted murder, finding they encourage a gunman to open fire on their tenants during a 2021 dispute in Fox Hill. We have courtroom details when our news at 7:30 returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication,
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. While a female landlord and her daughter found guilty of attempted murder, a jury delivering an 8-1 verdict in a shocking case involving their own tenants. The details in about 5 minutes. But first, National Security Minister Wayne Munro says the claims of a bag of passports found on a Bahamas Air flight headed to Haiti remains unsubstantiated, even after an article in today's Tribune claimed a former flight attendant was investigated and fired following the alleged seizure of more than $100,000 in cash. Munro maintains there has never been any report of passports involved. Our Delvado Emmanuel reports.
National Security Minister Wayne Munro maintaining his position tonight, insisting there has never been any reports confirming a bag of passports was found on a Bahamas Air flight. His comments come despite a Tribune story this week outlining how a former flight attendant was temporarily detained, questioned by financial crime officers, and ultimately fired after $106,000 was allegedly seized by Haitian authorities following a March 1st flight to Cape Haitian. The ex-employee claims he unknowingly carried a small bag containing 1 passport, clothes, and a pair of heels for a colleague, what he describes as a routine crew practice. But Munro insists the investigation was strictly about cash.
There has been no report of any bag of passport. The Commissioner of Police confirms the only person who got locked up is somebody taking cash.
According to the Tribune report, the former flight attendant said he was questioned about the $100,000 and never about passports. Monroe says when it comes to carrying valuables, crew should know better, pointing out the difference between everyday items and large undeclared sums.
If I ask you to take a document for me, that's one thing, right? If I ask you to take $100,000 for me to somebody, where you know the law is that you have to check against the source of funds. Did he get a source of funds from the person who gave him the money? So you have to understand and recognize foolishness when you hear it.
Was the ex-employee reportedly admitting to the Tribune taking a package onto a flight without knowing what's inside? Monroe said that detail weakens rather than strengthens that man's credibility.
You really have to be discerning to recognize foolishness when you hear it. That person is saying, I have done this a lot of times. He cannot speak for other persons. He says he is careless not to know what is in a bag that he is carrying. So he could be carrying a bomb onto the plane that he is going on, and he cares not to know. He could be carrying drugs. He cares not to know.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Now, we reached out to the Managing Director of Bahamas Air, Tracy Cooper, for a comment on the matter, but got no response up to news time. Well, the Progressive Liberal Party candidate for the Golden Isles by-election, Darren Pickstock, delivering an impassioned final message to residents last night ahead of Monday's by-election. At the PLP's Rally for Progress at the Golden Isles constituency headquarters, Pickstock told supporters he's running on his record, not anyone else's. He's also promising to remain present and deliver results if elected. Dozens of energized supporters gathered, waving pom-poms and banners as big party wigs like Angliston, Member of Parliament Glenys Hannah Martin for the Exumas and Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper, and Prime Minister Philip Davis prepped the crowd for Monday's showdown.
Let me tell you something. The PLP ain't got to cheat to win Golden Isles. We're law-abiding, and we will win fair and square.
In just 4 days, you can mark your ballot for progress and show your fellow citizens that you choose strength and unity instead of chaos and division. You choose service instead of showmanship and results instead of drama. You can show us you are ready for the kind of progress Darren can deliver.
There are also performances by Veronica Bishop and Blotty, but it was the candidate himself who set the tone, making a passionate plea for constituents to trust him, promising he wouldn't disappear after their votes are cast.
After we win on Monday, the real work begins. From corner to corner, from street to street, from home to home, Golden Isles. That will not change. I will remain here with you. You will not see me vanish until the next vote. You will see me working Golden Isles and working hard for you, standing in your communities, helping you solve real problems in real time.
While a $120 million heads of agreement was signed for the beach's Exumas Resort. The property was once the all-inclusive luxury Sandals Resort, but it's being transformed into a family-oriented brand. Officials boast that the resort, once completed, will provide more than 1,500 direct and indirect jobs. Our Bertha McDermott reports.
The Davis administration signing a $120 million heads of agreement for the redevelopment of the beach's Exuma Resort. The project comes months after Sandals Emerald Bay Exuma closed its doors to be transformed into a beaches resort, which is a part of the Sandals brand. The project will provide over 400 construction jobs and over 900 permanent jobs once the project is completed. Prime Minister Philip Davis says the transformation of the project will take up to 24 months.
Independent assessments show that once the resort is fully open, it will support more than 1,500 jobs each year and attract tens of thousands of visitors. 1,500 because of the indirect employment that flows from that opening as well. That means more money circulating in Exuma's economy, more opportunities for families, and more strength across the family islands.
The Prime Minister says the agreement signing strengthens the decades-long partnership with the Sandals brand. Sandals Executive Director Adam Stewart says the goal is to begin construction in the second quarter of 2026 with an estimated completion date set for the end of 2027. He explains the resort will also boast of 10 new restaurant concepts with a 15,000 square foot banqueting and conference center.
We'll put a water park in it, pickleball, archery, field sports, everything outdoors because it has the landscape to do it. The Greg Norman Golf Course will be in full effect and swing. We will convert multiple of the rooms to 2, 3, and 4 bedroom family villas for multi-generational travel.
Now, with the construction of this new resort, the problem of housing remains a challenge. The Deputy Prime Minister telling us they're working, though, to resolve that issue.
We are seeing some new build on the island. We will announce shortly the construction of homes in the area of Georgetown behind the Exuma Health Facility.
But in this first phase, we have 280 accommodation today. We'll be adding more than 100 to that in this first phase, staff accommodation.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Berthany. Well, the jury has found a female landlord and her daughter guilty of attempted murder of their tenants by a vote of 8-1. Michelle Williams and her daughter Glenrisha Williams were accused of encouraging another person to open fire on Adrian Cooper and his former fiancée Savannah Bain following a dispute on October 28, 2021. The incident happened at Romer Street in Fox Hill. The accused admitted that the gunman came out of their vehicle. However, they denied that they knew he was armed or intended to shoot at their tenant's car. The mother and daughter, who were on bail during the trial, have been remanded pending a sentencing hearing before Justice Renee McKay. Well, nice weather conditions on this Friday evening, and I'm hoping they continue throughout the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and happy TGIF, everybody. Nice evening setting up if you have plans for the outdoors. 75 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. Northeast winds at 13 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 75. Satellite radar composite, it is quiet across area. High pressure is dominating most of our islands, the exception being the extreme southern islands, Inagua, as well as the Tricks and Caicos Islands. Persistent troughing down there, generating some showers and some possible isolated thunderstorms. But that high will continue to stay with us as we watch that trough dissipate, looking for some very nice temperatures and weather for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast and the tropics still come.
Still to come in our news, work continues at the Golden Yoke site. With the first lay house fully erected, we have the latest straight ahead. And over in the northern Bahamas, students get a hands-on look at how GIS technology maps data, spots trends, and supports decision-making as the Bahamas National Statistical Institute marks GIS Day in Freeport. And later, a young woman living with a life-altering condition transformed hardship into purpose, becoming a powerful advocate for sickle cell warriors. Our Danielle Miller shares her story when our news continues. Stay with us.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
Construction for government's multi-million-dollar Golden Yoke program is progressing steadily across the site. That update, according to Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs Clay Sweeting. He says administrative buildings are taking shape and the first layhouse, critical for egg production, is already fully erected. He reaffirmed that the project remains well below its Phase 1 budget of $17 million, despite public criticism, adding the ministry is on track to complete major works before year's end. And if timelines hold, the nation could see chickens on site laying eggs as early as next year as the program moves toward full production.
One of the pullet houses where the birds or the layer houses is already erected. They started to put all that framing together, and we anticipate the next one to start within the next week. So we hope that by the end of the year, we will be able to get that component completed, and in the new year you can see chickens start to be there and start to lay some eggs.
Well, Wednesday marked Geographic Information System Day, a day set aside to recognize the technology that helps create, manage, analyze, and map all kinds of data. GIS plays a major role in science in nearly every industry, helping users spot trends, understand patterns, and make informed decisions. Over in Grand Bahama, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute hosted a hands-on session for students at the Harold de Gregory Government Complex in Freeport, giving them a closer look at how GIS works and why it matters. Supervisor Yvette Thompson from the GIS department explained the critical role the technology plays and the services they've been providing since 2008.
We put all of the locations on the map. Every building in Grand Bahama we have mapped. We can tell you what that building does. We don't get down to who lives in there, but we do know how many persons live there and where these buildings are located. So if you were to come to me, if the police was to come to me and say, hey, where is Star General? We could just hit it on our point and give them the GPS position so that they can go right to it, because we have everything mapped.
Managing Director Jamiko Delavo says events like this help spark interest in the field and shared what students should study if they want to pursue GIS, including geography, math, statistics, computer science, programming, urban planning, and economics.
Hopefully we're able to put a seed into the next generation of Bahamian scholars and researchers about the career possibilities and research possibilities of using geospatial engineering systems, and also hopefully, and with a little shameless promotion, what BNSI does as well. So they can, when they do start planning their careers, they can always think about having a career at BNSI.
Serena Brown plans a return to the Throwers Circle with LA 2028 in mind, a new class inducted to the S'mores Hall of Fame, and then a few Friday staples, Mango's Minute-ish, and your 10YS Plays of the Week.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here. You got to catch the next show here in London. I'm just leaving my Airbnb here in London because I only stay at the best places when I'm in London. But I'm going to have Bahamians on the show. That's right, Bahamians doing big things here in London, and also going to take you to some of the sites all around London. Whatever I can show you, I'm going to show you, all right? So catch the next Charlie Bahamas show right here, Cable Bahamas, channel 212. Charlie Bahamas show, every Friday night.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to do the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Success isn't always linear, and sometimes the story of an athlete embodies that to perfection. Serena Brown's relentless nature shines through as she battles past injuries and setbacks, determined to return to competition stronger than ever. After several years away from competition, Brown, the national record holder in the discus, looks to make a return healthy and with a renewed focus on fulfilling her Olympic dream.
My ultimate goal is to make the Olympic finals. And every meet from now until then, I'd like to qualify, make the finals, and make the medal stand. Those are my goals. I want people to understand that I'm not new to this. This is not my first time being on the world stage. This is not my first time being the underdog in a situation.
A new group of inductees officially joined the list of legends in the Bahamas National Sports Hall of Fame. In a ceremony last night at Sandals Royal Bahamian, the 2025 class was honored by the local sports community. The inductees are the legendary Foster Dorset,
shout out Uncle,
and Norbert Elliott for athletics, Arnold Bain, Stephen Bullet-Pinder, and Father Martian Peters for basketball, Ernie Barr and Alvin Sargent for boxing, Sydney St. Clair and Kim Thompson for cycling, Don Cornish and Lorene Simonet for volleyball, Joseph Joe Billy Roll for horse racing, Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee for sailing, and Rex Burnside for bodybuilding and powerlifting.
In today's University of the Bahamas Mingo's Minute-ish, we talk men's soccer and basketball. One gets a blowout win while the other struggles on the road. In men's soccer, Kevin Thomas's hat trick led the Mingos to an 11-0 win over Cavalier FC in Bahamas Men's Soccer League play for their third straight win. The men's hoops team came up short in a pair of nail-biters last weekend to United International College in Florida. In Game 1, they fell 82-79, led by Terrence Higgs 21 points. Jeremiah Miller added 19 and Kavara Russell scored 18. Game 2 was an 83-82 loss. Higgs had 24 points and 11 boards, while Shamiko Albury had 18 points and 7 assists. We love a diverse group of top players. We've got some high school football and some second-generation athletes that find their way into the countdown this week. Let's get to it. At 5, DeVar Darling Jr. out here running routes like DeVar Darling Sr.
At number 4, DeAndre Ayton is enjoying LA almost as much as Rick Fox is enjoying politics. Maybe even more.
At number 3, VJ gets the board and passes it to nobody but the rim.
At number 2, Brody Knowles isn't following his dad's footsteps by winning Grand Slams, but he's still making plays.
And coming in at number 1, a Lifetime Achievement Award for the legend, greatest shooting diplomat in global geopolitics. Ambassador Buddy Hield reaches number 15 all time on the NBA three-point list. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. It's a loaded week ahead. We'll be busy with college hoops, but the Dolphins have a bye, so you get to protect your mental health.
Oh, they're not playing? That's great.
Didn't make a difference if they were. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, a young woman living with a life-altering condition transforms hardship into purpose, becoming a powerful advocate for sickle cell warriors. Our Danielle Miller shares her story, and Greg is back with your weekend weather planner when our news continues. Stay with us.
such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here. You got to catch the next show here in London. I'm just leaving my Airbnb here in London because I only stay at the best places when I'm in London. But I'm going to have Bahamians on the show. That's right, Bahamians doing big things here in London, and also going to take you to some of the sites all around London. Whatever I can show you, I'm going to show you, all right? So catch the next Charlie Bahama show right here, Cable Bahamas, channel 212. Charlie Bahama show every Friday night.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients with.
This is our news. Welcome back. We still have that persistent troughing across the southeast Bahamas, generating a few showers and some thunderstorms over the Turks and Caicos Islands and Inagua, most of that across that area. The trough will continue to dissipate as we watch that into the weekend. High pressure will dominate our weather. We're looking for some very nice conditions into the weekend and into early next week, as the high is going to be persistent through that period. The tropics, we are winding down. We have 9 days left in the official 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. All's quiet there. The far eastern Atlantic, nothing happening. Couple of tropical waves, but all disorganized, and into the Gulf of Mexico and the Western Caribbean. All's quiet there as well. Taking a look at a future forecast, once again, nothing happening for the weekend. High pressure in charge, maybe a spotty shower or two across the easterly breeze, but Saturday looks good. Sunday also looking good as well. Increases some shower activity across the central Bahamas during that time frame. Boating conditions for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight too. Tomorrow, northeast to east winds 10 to 15 knots. They will fall light and variable at times. Seas running 2 to 4 feet. High tide is at 8:22 tonight. The low tide takes place at 2:22 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, we keep the caution flag in place for you guys down there as well. Rip current in risk still there. Northeast winds slightly stronger. Easterly at 15 plus. That's gusting at times. Seas running 3 to 5 feet, and those seas will be higher in gusts. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, just beautiful conditions into the weekend and into early next week, that with that high persisting across us. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s, and those nighttime temperatures will be in the low 70s. So very comfortable conditions for the weekend. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, a young woman diagnosed with a life-changing condition has transformed one of her worst moments of her life into a beacon of strength, becoming an advocate for sickle cell disease. In this report, our Danielle Miller speaks to the young woman about how she turned her pain into purpose.
When I was in high school, I had a classmate that spent days out sick due to sickle cell disease. But from that day until this, it never dawned on me the turmoil she was going through until I had a recent conversation with warrior and advocate Takrizia Bartlett.
I wish that I was tested and diagnosed at birth. However, I was diagnosed at 3. So there was a period where something constantly was going on with me. My mom took me to the emergency room several times because she said, I was crying a lot. And they went from saying that it was colic to, change my milk, all the while that I was in crisis. I was in pain.
Bartlett says it wasn't until her mother took her to see a pediatric hematologist that they finally discovered the issue. Bartlett had sickle cell anemia, specifically HBSS, which is considered the most severe form of the disease. Sickle cell anemia is one of a group of inherited disorders known as sickle cell disease. It affects the shape of red blood cells, which carry oxygen to all parts of the body. Symptoms include anemia, episodes of pain, swollen hands and feet, and frequent infections. Bartlett says she spent countless days in the hospital in excruciating pain. In some instances, doctors advised her mother to prepare for the worst. But her condition remains hidden from many who knew her until 2021.
I had a really bad hospitalization in 2021. It was near death, I would say, and I needed blood. So flyers were going around, and after I was discharged and doing well, a lot of people reached out and said, I had no idea that you had sickle cell disease.
In the midst of her pain, she found a new sense of purpose. Along with her mother, she founded Sickle Cell Talk, an organization focused on fostering organic conversations in the community about the disease.
I want to be the voice for the voiceless and just ensure that the next generation may have the awareness, the education, and the tools that I didn't have, or my mom.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Denny, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. The Free National Movement's rally in Golden Isles constituency starts right now. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.